out what it's like to live with a disease that was once mistaken for possession. Discover the real story behind The Exorcist. Peer into the brain as it is gripped by profound religious experience, as science and the supernatural collide over devils, demons, and deception.
Something may be done!
Novelist William Peter Blatty, and the world would never be quite the same. 3 decades after the release of the movie, the U.S. has 10 official Catholic exorcists where there used to be 1, and charismatic Christians are generating exorcists like crazy.
I perform exorcisms on the telephone, in person, on a weekly basis, and on Saturday evenings.
I am now an exorcist, not by choice, but by necessity.
No one in America is more than a day's drive from getting an exorcism.
Nowadays, apparently, demons aren't simply content to possess people. Now they're going after your car, your computer, your precious pet. So if your bed's being tormented by the spirit of a Satanist, who are you going to call?
Something may be done!
Outside of Inverness, Scotland, the Steddings Hotel is about to have quite an unusual visitor, an exorcist.
I would call myself a cleanser of spirits, shall we say. People would say, what do you mean, an exorcist? And I have to give in to that point and say, yep, an exorcist.
Kevin Carlyon is a white witch who believes that all kinds of inanimate objects can be possessed.
When I first walked into the hotel, I can feel there's something here. There's definitely some sort of spook.
I asked Kev to come here purely because we'd had quite a few complaints of people with restless nights and no sleep, disturbed sleep. I don't really sort of believe in all this mumbo-jumbo, but if it affects my business, then obviously I was willing to try anything.
I think ghosts, if you want to call it that, you know, I can actually sense them, whether they're good or bad. They can actually vary between just noises or even hearing or smelling some things. I can tap in on things like that.
Something strange does appear to be going on at the Steddings. According to local legend, one of the rooms here has a peculiar bed.
I slept on the bed for a couple of hours, and there was a sensation pulling me to the middle. 3 definite, very heavy footsteps, and then they were gone.
And I definitely heard whispering voices, but it wasn't something that you could explain.
The bed in question supposedly belonged to famed Satanist Aleister Crowley, once dubbed the wickedest man in the world. Crowley reputedly spent much of his adult life indulging in black magic and orgies. He cultivated the image of a raving Satanist, recommending rituals that included blood drinking and human sacrifice. He called himself the Great Beast, and his books, such as Diary of a Drug Fiend, were banned and confiscated as quickly as they were published. Kevin Carlyon is not intimidated by such wickedness. He's got years of experience combating evil spirits, some perhaps less evil than others.
I've actually been called in to exercise just about everything you can possibly imagine. From jewellery, a car, television, pubs, a horse, a dog, cats that are acting scatty. In reality, spirits or ghosts can actually turn up anywhere.
I summon forth the elements, earth, air, fire and water, drawn together from every quarter. So may it be done on this night and in this place. If there's any spirit unharmonious or evil, my purpose here is to remove it. Wish this bed shortly. Give longevity, power and energy to people that come here. So may it be done! Rise, mighty power, higher and higher. Rise, mighty power.
Apparently, the evil spirit of Aleister Crowley is in league with the lowly smoke alarm. So we may never know if his spirit has been dismissed. In the world of spirit possession, it's harder to find two more different exorcists than Kevin Carlyon and Narendra Nayak. Nayak performs exorcisms, but Karen Miller would disagree.
I met Karen in the hotel in San Diego a few years ago, a couple hundred people in the audience. I walked out to her and told her she was a multiple personality full of demons. And nobody had ever told her that.
Larson's exorcised Karen many times. The effects have inspired her to become an exorcist herself.
Every time I can.
Karen believes that she was once a victim of satanic ritual abuse, the supposed systematic abuse, mutilation, and torture of children by satanic cults, and that as a result, she had split into many personalities. Since then, Karen claims to have remembered the abuse, or actually, her other personalities do. Some of those personalities have demons attached to them.
I was to be sacrificed when I was 10, but God intervened and we moved out of state.
To date, Karen's personality has splintered into not 2, not 4, but
around 21 multiple personalities, and one of the personalities actually said, I think there's about 38. It may be more, it may be less.
Here's the catch. Most experts no longer think that multiple personality disorder actually exists, or satanic ritual abuse, for that matter.
The FBI conducted a thorough study of hundreds and hundreds of claims of satanic cults, and they could find nothing. If this was real, surely, okay, some of them got covered up or buried or disappeared or whatever, but surely they'd find at least one. There were none. There are no satanic cults. The whole thing was a mass hysteria and nothing more.
If that's true, then how could people like Karen have detailed and terrible memories of satanic ritual abuse? How could they believe that they have multiple personalities as a result?
Somebody who claims to have 38 personalities, I'd want to know what TV shows have they been watching, what therapists have they been talking to. I mean, how did this product get made?
I
hate men! I hate men! I hate every man! I hate every man! I hate every man! I hate every man!
Most of all, believers ask, why would anyone want to believe something so awful about themselves? It's not as though being possessed by a demon is glamorous.
When people get the label, you're demonically possessed, it's making them feel good, and because it's telling them it's not your fault. With this label, we understand you, there are going to be other people like you, and all of that might create a reassurance for people, but it might be a very, very false kind of reassurance.